The Chris Columbus Home Alone movies might be some of the most perfect, amazing, and special movies ever made. They perfectly capture the spirit of Christmas and the Christmas season, but also tell a story that's fun and relatable. Whether you're a parent, adult, teenager, or kid, Home Alone never feels old or outdated. It strikes the perfect balance between being serious and extremely funny.
1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Without ever losing focus or becoming a parody of itself. You can watch these movies every year, and every year they will be funny and feel fresh. It is very rare for a movie to hit such a perfect balance and become this iconic.
Home Alone.
Police in the northern suburbs are on the lookout for a pair of burglars who are calling themselves the Wet Bandits.
We know that you're in there.
It's Santa Claus and his elf.
It's not surprising that so many people watch Home Alone every year during or around Christmas. The movie is hilarious, but also has a very warm atmosphere that makes you feel good the entire time you're watching it. Every scene feels festive, the streets are full of snow, the house is decorated beautifully and magnificently. Inside, everyone is wearing warm sweaters, and the colors are also warm and inviting. Everything here comes together and creates a nostalgic but also timeless feeling, which, in my opinion, is one of the reasons why it works so well. Aside from the somewhat outdated technology and the fact that with modern cell phones the movie wouldn't work at all, everything else feels fresh and timeless. Even 80 years from now, you can watch this movie and not feel like it's hard to relate or too old school. I think part of why that's the case is the over-the-top humor in Kevin's character. The movie is not supposed to be a complete joke or parody, but at the same time, it also doesn't take itself too seriously. Most of the humor in this movie is slapstick and heavily inspired by the Three Stooges.
Be a good little fella now and open the door. Hello.
It's humor built on pain, and honestly, even before the Wet Bandits are getting their ass kicked, there's plenty of jokes that are bordering dark humor territory and just hilarious.
What kind of mother am I?
If it makes you feel any better, I forgot my reading classes.
Watching Harry and Marv get hit in the face and physically abused by Kevin, who is definitely showing his sadistic side here, will never get old. I mean, I watch these movies every year for Christmas or around Christmas, and I've been doing it for years, and every single time I can't stop laughing. There is something about this humor that is timeless and will always work. Harry and Marv are iconic, and their over-the-top acting fits perfectly to the tone of this movie. You really want to see them get beat up and trapped by Kevin because each trap is more violent than the other. And their reactions to getting abused are hilarious. Marv especially makes half the movie for me because he manages to play a complete lovable idiot so well. Also, let's be honest, Kevin is like the perfect sadistic maniac if you think about it. The traps he built are clearly made to cause as much pain and humiliation as possible. I remember seeing a meme where someone asked who would win in a fight between Kevin and the Predator, and someone asked how much time does Kevin get, which also perfectly sums his character up. Given enough time, he'd absolutely demolish the Predator.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Macaulay Culkin's acting here is great, and I love how layered it is. On one hand, he has all this sadism and ingenuity in him while also knowing how to survive and fend for himself. But on the other hand, many of his actions are very childish and exactly how children would behave. Which is obvious, of course, since he is an 8-year-old child. But a lot of movies featuring children, especially those aimed at children, have the kids act either too mature for their age or even more immature than they are. Home Alone does none of that. Everything here is highly relatable to actual children because everything Kevin does are things kids fantasize about doing in real life. Sliding down the stairs in your sledge, being home alone, watching hundreds of movies, and eating as much fast food as possible, while also finding the time to kick the ass of some home invaders. The movie doesn't completely treat Kevin or its younger audience as children that need everything explained or talked down to, but at the same time it also never turns into something that's too serious. It strikes the perfect balance in that it manages to include all kinds of humor and be relatable to both adults and children.
Marv,
Harry?
why the hell did you take your shoes off?
Why the hell you dressed like a chicken?
And that's what makes it so timeless and unique and why it works every year. No matter how old you get, you can always relate to the characters and even see yourself in Kevin's shoes. It's also worth mentioning just how amazing the soundtrack is. All of the songs playing are heartwarming and have this cozy feeling that makes you nostalgic but also simply relaxed. John Williams managed to create a soundtrack that harmonizes masterfully with each scene. It stays with you even after finishing this movie, and I feel like at this point I can tell what song plays during which scene even if someone blindfolded me. The movie lives in large parts from its memorable atmosphere. Each scene feels warm and inviting, even the scenes that are supposed to be a bit darker and sad, which is another layer of this movie. It has a few sad moments that drive home Kevin's loneliness and how you should be careful of what you're wishing for, or it might come true, but likely not the way you'd like it to. Themes of loneliness, family, compassion, and friendship are sprinkled throughout Home Alone, but it's done in such a smart and perfect way. It never feels like the movie is pushing these themes in your face. It's all subtle, but when it drives home Kevin feeling sad, it hits you deep and you understand instantly how he's feeling. Both Home Alone 1 and 2 are movies of a very rare kind. It doesn't happen often that a movie manages to hit so many different topics, levels of humor and relatability so well, become iconic and a cult classic, and be remembered yearly by everyone. It's even wilder that the sequel manages to be just as good as the first one, if not even slightly better in my opinion.
What kind of idiots do you have working here?
The finest in New York.
It does seem like Chris Columbus knows how to work with children and how to make movies that are warm, cozy, and simply have a very inviting atmosphere that lets you forget everything going on in the real world. Home Alone is a genuinely heartwarming movie. It exists to make you feel better and also shows the good side of humanity. The character of Gus is a perfect example of a person that is selfless and offers help to people in need, and whenever he's on screen, I feel warmer on the inside. He saw this desperate mother begging for a way to get home to her son, and he offered to help her without expecting anything in return. He's also easily one of the most hilarious characters in this movie, and the fact that John Candy apparently improvised an ad-lib the entire scene at 4 in the morning is insane to me.
Tell me, have you ever gone on vacation and left your child home?
No. No. But I did leave one at a funeral parlor once. Apparently he was there alone all day with a corpse. Now, he was okay, you know, after 6-7 weeks. And I came around, started talking again.
It really speaks to his massive comedic talent. To me, Home Alone will always be a perfect movie because I can't think of a single thing that doesn't work or fit. I understand that perfection is subjective and that it might not even exist, but if a movie is as heartwarming and rewatchable as this, while also feeling fresh years later, I'd say that Home Alone nailed it at being perfect.